Whether your vehicle is old and has no tire pressure monitoring system, or your car's newer and you just want the ability to see exact tire pressures while you drive, this little device will give you what you need. Welcome to Dillan's Garage. I bought this Jansite TPMS kit on Amazon for around 30 bucks. It stood out to me because it is completely wireless. The cheap price made me nervous, but I decided to give it a shot so I could share about my experience. In the box, you'll find the manual, the 4 sensors, USB cable, the display, adhesive pads, and a little bag of nuts and a wrench. The system works by threading these sensors onto your wheel's valve stems. They are battery powered and send a signal to the main unit that is charged via solar or USB. The sensors are pre-paired to the display, and they are labeled for each corner of the vehicle. The display itself was smaller than I expected, which was a relief because it looked bigger in the photos. This model can point straight out from its base or hinge upward 45 degrees. There are other models with ball joints, a cigarette lighter mount. I'll post links to the different versions in the description. The one question I had to ask and answer for my own curiosity and for you is what happens when the sensor batteries die? It turns out it's very simple and easy to replace the battery. Remove the battery cover and unscrew the housing to reveal the CR1632 battery. In my case, the sensor also paired itself back to the display correctly after reinserting the battery. They come paired out of the box, but if at any point you need to re-pair the sensors manually, the directions cover that clearly. The directions call for a 2-hour charge before installing the display on the vehicle. There is no visual cue that the unit is charging until it powers itself on after a couple minutes of being plugged in. Once it's on, you can enter the menu by holding the middle button down for 8 seconds. Then, pressing the middle button will cycle through the different settings, and pressing the left and right buttons will change the current setting value. You have the options of switching between bars or PSI, Celsius or Fahrenheit. You can select a custom high and low pressure warning levels and high temperature warning level. Hold the menu button again to exit the menu. While the display is charging for its 2-hour cycle, we'll install the sensors on the vehicle. This part is simple. Remove the valve stem cap if you have one, thread on the security nut by hand, then thread on the sensor. There's no way to measure it, but thread the sensor on as tight as you comfortably can by hand. I got it on pretty snug. You obviously don't want it too tight. Feel it out. Use the included wrench to tighten the security nut against the sensor. This helps prevent the sensor from coming loose on its own. I actually bent the wrench from trying to over tighten the nut and had to hammer it back into shape. It's not a very strong tool, so go easy on it. The Shrader valve on one wheel was too far down in the valve stem, and neither the sensor nor the tire pressure gauge would work. I used my Shrader valve tool to unscrew it just a couple turns to pull it out enough for the sensor to engage with the valve correctly. Link below for the tool if you need one. Make sure the pressure is correct on all 4 tires before installing the sensors. If you don't have a compressor or you don't know how to do that, you can always drive by Discount Tire and they'll check and adjust your tire pressure for free. After mocking it up and deciding on a location, I put the adhesive pads on the display and stuck it to the windshield. I chose a location that is out of the way, doesn't obstruct the view, and has good sun coverage. I read comments that it works, but I would recommend avoiding installing the display on tinted glass in order to maximize solar charging. At the time of editing this video, I'm on day 5 since installing the system, and the battery still shows full. It's been bright sunny days here in California, so I'll have to post a review with my experience once the display battery finally depletes and needs to be plugged in. The one immediate flaw I noticed while driving is the display is polarized the same direction as our sunglasses, which makes it appear to be turned off while wearing the glasses. It may not interfere the same way with all sunglasses, but that's my experience with ours. I feel better though that it will automatically give a warning beep when the tire pressure gets low. So even when I'm not actively watching it, I'll still be warned that there's a problem. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. And thank you all so much for watching Dillan's Garage. See you in the next one.